Hello and welcome back to Only Analogue, featuring some of the worst haircuts of the late 90s. I'll apologise now for the shaky vlog style footage today, but we've just received a very exciting parcel from Lomography UK. So this is a brand new camera from Lomography. Super top secret. We've been told to keep hush hush about this one until release date. At least that's what I hope's in this parcel, not something I've drunkenly ordered on some late night Amazon binge. But yeah, as I said, this is a brand new camera from Lomography. I have no idea what's in it yet, so we're going to open it together and see what's inside. So let's get into it. Okay, that's very interesting. So we've got a little 110 film camera here. This is Lomography's newest camera, and this is a prototype of this camera, so obviously this isn't going to be what the final result looks like. Very interesting so far, very reminiscent of the old style 110 cameras, which is kind of cool. Very interesting so far. I think this is a little flash unit here, looks like it detaches. See what else we got in the pack. So Lomography have sent us 2 rolls of film to shoot as well. So we've got a roll of Lomchrome Purple and some Tiger Colour Negative 200, which I've actually never shot before, so that'll be quite interesting. Very interesting so far. Go and grab Tom and we're going to head out and see what we can make of this. But yeah, let's get into it. So before we get into today's video, I just want to give a massive thanks to Hannah and Lomography UK for sending us this camera to test. So today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Lomomatic 110 by Lomography. Now hopefully seeing this camera will bring back a few fond memories for a few of you. I'm sure there's some of our viewers that will remember when the 110 film came out back in the 70s and how it came to be so popular. But for those of you that don't, the 110 cartridge was introduced in 1972 and became instantly popular, with a lot of users being able to pick up this camera with very little photographic knowledge and be able to create beautiful memories that we've all come to enjoy. A lot of the bigger film companies ceased production of the 110 film in the early 2000s, and that is where Lomography stepped in. In 2012, Lomography started to market their 110 film in both colour and in black and white, including some of their experimental films that we've all come to know and love. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at some of the features on this brand new 110 film camera, and we're going to show you some of the results and what you can expect to see. So me and Tom loaded our first roll of film into the Lomomatic 110, which was Tiger 200, and set out to see what we could make of it. So let's get into it. There's a reason 110 film was and still remains quite popular. It's probably the easiest way to get into film photography, and the nostalgic aesthetic it creates is something that we can all enjoy. So shooting 110 film isn't something I do too often. I'm rarely even seen with a 35mm camera these days. I feel like my photography journey has delved more into the larger formats of photography, but this camera has reminded me that photography isn't always about perfection, and it's often nice to sort of experiment with something new and create different pieces of art. 110 film was never designed to be high quality or with the idea to create large prints. The very small nature of this film, in my opinion, creates an avenue for photographers to capture unique moments and memories, and that's something I think Lomography definitely had in mind when they was creating this camera. The photos that you capture on this Lomomatic 110 are very reminiscent of those 80s, 90s holiday snaps, if you know what I mean. They almost remind me of a time when I first started shooting film on a disposable back in the late 90s, early 2000s, or when you flick back through old photos in a photo book, and I absolutely love that nostalgic feel. So with Lomography in mind, I put my experimental hat on and I tried a few multiple exposures. Some worked out well, some not so well, but there's a few in there that I really do like. Film through the Lomomatic 110 has retained that classic grainy lo-fi sort of look that's become very sought after. I think some of us have become a bit of a sucker for that nostalgic look over the years, perhaps clinging on to better times. And let's be honest, if you're going to shoot film and you crave that look, then why not shoot 110 film through this camera? You make all the Instagram kids jealous. You know, the ones that have got the newest iPhone with the newest ultra sharp high resolution lens, just to slap a grainy off-focus filter on it for the gram. So we definitely had a mixed bag of results throughout our time with this camera. And in hindsight, I kind of wish we'd taken more candid shots of friends and family than sort of treating it as we normally would on a shoot with any other camera. Is the Lomomatic 110 an ultra sharp, magnificent showstopper? Of course not, but it was never designed to be. I think sometimes we all get a little too involved with finding the perfect camera with the perfect lens to take the perfect photo. You know, I'm guilty of it. We quite often forget about the experimental side of photography or just completely strip the enjoyment out of it. And I think that's one of the reasons why I really enjoyed using this camera. And just because 110 isn't my thing, doesn't mean I'm going to completely disregard the idea altogether. This is still a massive step forward for the film photography community. And I have massive respect for this camera and the companies like Lomography that will continue to produce products like this. Lomography have had such a huge impact in the film industry, especially when it comes to things like experimental film photography. And this camera is definitely another string to their bow. I will definitely be ordering one, and I will probably be using it similar to how I use my Polaroid camera, and just using it to sort of create fun, little unique memories and little candid shots of friends and family when we're out and about. So before we get into the camera's features, I just want to share with you a couple of the sample photos from the guys over at Lomography, and perhaps a couple of familiar faces. So let's talk about some of the camera's features. Now, this is a prototype version that was sent to me in time for testing, of course, so it is completely black, and this is the plastic version of this camera. This is going to be available in both the Golden Gate version, which I believe is the more plasticky version, and there's going to be a more premium metal version as well. And you're also going to have the option to purchase it with or without the flash unit, which screws into the end here. So let's start with the lens. The Lomomatic 110 does feature a 23mm Minotaur glass lens. And just underneath the lens you have two aperture options, which come as night and day. The day option is an auto f5.6 and the night option is f2.8, which is also super handy if you're in low light conditions or indoors as well. Your distance settings can be found on the right hand side of the camera, and you have 4 focusing zones, which are all in meters. So you have a 0.8, 1.5, 3 meters and an infinity. On the bottom you can also find your multi-exposure button, so all you need to do is slide this along before winding onto your next shot to take a multiple exposure, and that is unlimited. You can use that as many times as you want. On the top you have your ISO and bulb mode settings, which includes options for 100, 200 and 400 ISO, and you can switch the bulb mode on and off using a separate button on the top. As I said before, it also comes with the flash unit option, and this is detachable from the left hand side of the camera, which just simply screws on and off. And your film loading door is found on the back of the camera. You simply pop your 110 film in, close it up and wind it on. Simple as that. So just to wrap this video up, as I said before, I wish we'd sort of been a bit more careful in how we treated our shots, did more sort of candid shots of family and friends rather than treating it as a normal camera that we would on any other shoot. You know, am I going to have any of these shots printed up on my wall or plastered over social media? Probably not. But as I said before, you can really create some unique nostalgic memories with this camera. And going forward, that's something I'm definitely going to be doing once I've purchased my own version of this. I think I mentioned before that I resembled it to my Polaroid camera, and obviously I know these are completely different formats, but it gives me that same sort of look and feel from the photos. You know, Polaroid's very sort of aimed at creating memories, instant memories that you can have, whereas I think this camera, if you're, you know, out on holiday or you're with family and friends, you can create very similar unique moments. Of course they're not instant, but you get that really nostalgic feel, and that's something that I absolutely love. If you want to head over to Lomography and check this camera out, it is available now. I think they start from about £89, and I'll leave the link in the description below, so definitely go and check it out. Head over to Lomography and grab yourself one of these little beauties. If you'd like to see any of our other Lomography inspired videos, you can click the link just at the top here. Once again, I just want to give a massive thanks to Lomography UK for sending us out this camera and some film. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please leave a like, drop a comment and hit the subscribe button. It means the absolute world to us, and it's the best way you can support this channel. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you very, very soon in the next one. Peace.